Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to tackle a massive headache that almost every machine learning team deals with, managing features. And we're going to break down a seriously powerful tool that promises to fix this mess, the Amazon SageMaker Feature Store.
All right, so here's how we're going to do this. First, we'll dig into the messy problem that pretty much every ML team runs into. Then, we'll get crystal clear on what a feature store actually is and take a look under the hood to see how it all works. After that, we'll cover the key lingo so you can speak the language, and we'll wrap it all up with the big payoff, why this whole thing could be a total game changer for you.
Okay, let's set the stage here. Before we can even talk about the solution, we've got to understand the problem. And it's a big one, a real headache in the ML world that I like to call the feature mess.
Look, if you've ever worked on an ML project, this is probably going to sound painfully familiar. You've got data scientists over here cooking up features in a notebook for model training. At the same time, you've got engineers on the other side trying to recreate that exact same logic for live predictions. It's just a recipe for disaster, and keeping it all in sync feels like a constant battle.
And all that inconsistency, it just leads to chaos. You end up with different teams rebuilding the same data pipelines over and over. What a waste of time, right? It becomes basically impossible to trace where a feature even came from. But worst of all, you run the risk of this quiet but absolutely deadly modeling error called data leakage, which can completely destroy your results. And yeah, we are definitely coming back to that one.
So, how in the world do we clean up this mess? Well, this is exactly where the SageMaker Feature Store comes into the picture with a surprisingly elegant solution. Just think of it like this. It's a central library for all of your ML data. Or, an even better analogy is a professional chef's pantry. Everything is perfectly organized, every ingredient is labeled and ready to go. It becomes the one and only source of truth for all of your features. And the core idea here is just so powerful, giving everyone, from the data scientists to the ML engineers, a single, unified view of the data. It seems simple, but that one change can slash confusion and make the entire team so much more productive. Okay, so that's the what. Now let's really get into the how. We're going to lift the hood and look at the core mechanics that actually make all of this possible.
So the fundamental building block, the thing it all starts with, is something called a feature group. Now don't let the name fool you. It's really just a simple container for features that are related. For example, you might have a customer feature group that holds everything you know about your customers, their age, their purchase history, their loyalty status, you name it.
Now, right at the heart of the feature store is this really clever dual storage system. On one hand, for your real-time predictions where speed is everything, you've got the online store. It's built for super fast, low latency lookups. And then, for model training, you have the offline store, which holds all the historical data and is optimized for crunching through massive datasets without breaking the bank.
And getting your data into the system is super flexible too. You can stream new data in real time, think clickstream events or transaction updates, making sure your online store always has the absolute freshest information. Or you can just load massive pre-processed datasets all at once. We call that batch ingestion, and it's perfect for filling up that offline store for model training.
All right, so like with any powerful tool, if you really want to get the most out of it, you've got to speak the language. So let's do a quick run-through of the essential terms you're going to hear over and over. First up, the feature group. We've said it before, but it's key. This is your main container, the way you organize your features, like that table of customer data we talked about. So inside a feature group, you have records. And a record is super simple. It's just all the feature values for one specific thing. So in our customer group, a record is just one row, all the data for one single customer. So how do you find one specific record? Well, that's the record identifier. It's nothing more than the unique ID for that record. Think of it just like a primary key in a database, like a customer ID or a product ID. And this next one, this one is absolutely critical, the event time. Every single record gets a timestamp that tells you the exact moment that piece of data was created or updated. And that event time, that is the secret weapon for preventing that really serious modeling error we mentioned earlier, data leakage. So what even is data leakage? It's when your model gets trained on information it could not possibly have known at the time a prediction needed to be made. It's like using a customer's purchase data from Friday to predict if they would buy something back on Wednesday. It makes your model look like a genius during testing, but it will fall flat on its face in the real world because it's essentially been cheating by looking into the future. And this is where the feature store just solves this so elegantly. By using that event time, you can do what are called point-in-time queries. It means you can literally ask the system, hey, give me the exact state of all the features at this specific moment in the past. This guarantees you are not accidentally peeking into the future, and it just completely wipes out data leakage. It's brilliant.
So when you bring this all together, what's the big payoff? Why does any of this really matter for you in your day-to-day ML workflow?
Well, the benefits are just huge. You get one central place to manage and version all of your features. Model training gets way faster because the data is already prepped and ready to go. And maybe most importantly, it finally bridges that gap between data scientists and engineers. It encourages real collaboration because, for the first time, everyone is working from a single source of truth.
This makes the Feature Store pretty much an essential tool for the entire ML lifecycle. From just exploring data to find valuable signals, all the way to training robust models that you can actually trust, and then finally, serving predictions at scale with total confidence that your data is consistent.
And that really leaves us with a final, powerful question. Just think about your own team for a second. How much time, how many mistakes, how much duplicated work could you just get rid of if everyone was working from the exact same trusted set of features? Because a single source of truth, well, it's not just a tech upgrade. It could fundamentally transform your entire ML workflow from the ground up.